so much for tuning in. It is Friday. It is your day. We're going to open up the phone lines for everyone to give me a call. Huh? Okay. We're going to give everyone an opportunity to give me a call. Holler at me. We're going to open up the phone lines because it is Friday, your day, so we can talk about pretty much whatever you want. I just ask that you keep it PG-13, of course, right? You know the routine. We got to keep that PG-13. We don't want any extra other stuff. But anyways, also, if you haven't already, please bless me by hitting that thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up for me. I would greatly appreciate it if you would do that as well. We want to talk about these hypocrites. I mean, complete hypocrites. Well, this is my topic of the day. There's videos that surface with Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer back in the day, like in the 1990s, even the early 2000s, even as late as 2018 with Pencil Neck, where they were saying that we need to get rid of the waste and the fraud. They were actually saying this. They sound just like the Republicans today when they say we need to get rid of the waste and fraud. See, Democrats were all about it, but now all of a sudden they're against it. Why are they against it? Oh, I can tell you why. Because President Trump is the one doing it now. And I guess the Democrats, they have this whole thing to give this perception that they're wanting to get rid of waste and fraud. And all along, while everyone was like, oh yeah, they're fighting for us, they're getting rid of waste and fraud, when they were actually pushing the waste and fraud through so they can be the beneficiaries of it. I'm telling you right now, Elon Musk yesterday, did we play that video yesterday, Shannon? There's a video where Elon Musk, and I think it was the one with Jesse Waters. He was on with Jesse Waters, and Elon Musk was saying, like, we found all of this stuff and no one's been arrested. And he's actually calling out the Uniparty because both the Republicans and the Democrats are like they're all in on it because they were all benefiting from the waste and fraud. And see, Elon Musk being the outside person looking in at all of this stuff, exposing all of it, they're upset. That's the main reason why they're upset with it. That's the main reason. So again, we're going to put the phone number here in the lower third so you can give us a call. Let me share this first one with you. Oh, let me say thank you to all of you that have supported me. Thank you so much for your donations, for helping me get a new megaphone. I have already ordered it. I don't think it's going to be here on time for Saturday, which I'm a little disappointed about that, but there's going to be many more. But I just want to say thank you so much for helping me get my new megaphone so I can go out and make sure that these woke liberals can hear me. Let me play this first one for you. This is Adam Schiff, 2018, 2019, and now 2024, up to 2024. He's such a hypocrite. Absolutely, all of them are hypocrites.
On the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him.
Very strongly in favor of indicting the president when he is out of office.
I don't think the incoming president should be threatening his political opponents with jail time. That's not the kind of talk we should hear from a president in a democracy.
I mean, really? What a hypocrite. I mean, but we already knew this about Adam Schiff. This is part of the reason why he was censored in the House, and then he went over to the Senate. And you know what? He should be censored there as well. He should be. There's no reason why, because he's lying. Just because he went over to the Senate doesn't mean Adam Schiff stopped lying. Adam Schiff is still the same liar that was in the House of Representatives. Okay, we have the phone line open, everyone, 319-527-3453. If you want to holler at me, I want to know, what do you think? You know, this all goes along with the tariffs that President Trump is doing. The Democrats, they were all against the tariffs until, of course, when Joe Biden did tariffs, they didn't have any problems with it. When Obama did it, they didn't have any problems with it. But see, President Trump, he's taking it to the point to where it's going to actually benefit the American people. See, the only reason why they did a few tariffs is because they want to make it look like they were strong, like they're going to make these other countries do what they want. Just like they were using the school board. You remember the Department of Education? The only reason why they wanted the Department of Education, not to educate children, not to make sure that children had access to material. That's not the reason why the Democrats did the School Board of Education. They did it because they wanted to be able to control the state's education for children because they knew a lot of funding would come. And President Trump says no more to that. No more. Well, the economy is already on the up and up. There's a new jobs report that came out. They were expecting, 170,000 new jobs? Was that correct, Shannon? Around there roughly? Like 170,000 new jobs. They were expecting that. And then come to find out it was how much? 288,
I think it was. They were expecting 140,000.
Oh, okay. It's 140,000.
Yeah, and it came in like 288 or something like that.
288,000 jobs. And these are not government jobs.
Right.
Government jobs, not temporary government jobs. Now, they may be temporary jobs out in the private sector, but they're not government jobs.
Yeah, if people have been listening to us, they know that we've been reporting that under Joe Biden, a huge part of those numbers, job numbers, were government jobs. He was creating jobs in order to make it look like he was creating jobs, right? But we've, of course, know he bloated the government. He created all these jobs. But this is in the private sector. This is where you want the job growth to be.
Yeah.
And it's blowing it out of the water. This is the biggest job number since Trump has taken office. And I think it's just going to keep going up from here.
It really is. So let me share another one with you. A blast from the past. Nancy Pelosi. Let's listen to Nancy Pelosi back in the day. Because today she has a completely different tone. She's such a flip-flopper. Listen to this.
In terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal? In terms of jobs, this is the biggest and cruelest hoax of all. The China trade supports 170,000 jobs in the United States, 170,000 jobs, whereas our imports from China support 10 million jobs at least. The fact is that U.S.-China trade is a job loser.
Wow. Will the real Nancy Pelosi please stand up? Please stand up. Completely different Nancy Pelosi. Completely different. This was 1996. Well, you know what? She doesn't say anything about China now. And I remember right before the 2020 election, she and other predominant Democrats took a visit to China and came back and said, oh, there's nothing wrong. See, they went to Chinatown. Y'all remember what happened during that time? And ever since then, she's had nothing but positive things to say about China. She's all about China. Could it possibly be that she's getting paid under the table? I don't know. What do you think? You can give me a call and tell me about it. I don't bite that hard. That hard. I'll admit I might bite a little bit, but I don't bite that hard. So give me a call, 319-527-3453. For those that are listening in, the number is 319-527-3453. Give me a holler. Give me a holler. Now, here's another one. Chuck Schumer. It's Chuck Schumer. You know what? You know who I haven't heard from in a while? Jerry Nadler.
Oh, you know what? That is so true.
What is up with Jerry Nadler?
That is so true.
Have you? I mean, seriously, I've just dawned on me, Jerry Nadler, because a lot of times when I list off these radical Democrats, Jerry Nadler's among them. Is he like hanging out? Is he doing what is her name? Diane Frankenstein? Is he doing what she was doing before she left Congress? What is he doing right now? I mean, someone needs to do a wellness check because I haven't seen him on anything. No. None of the liberal media news, nothing. I'm just kind of curious. Someone should do a wellness check. Well, here's Chuck Schumer talking about the very thing that President Trump is doing right now. And see, this is what I was saying yesterday. If the Democrats were saying what they're saying, if they said this today, then I think more people would have respect for him, because they'd be like, okay, look, at least they're trying to work with President Trump to get things done. They said the same thing back in the day. Why did it change? What happened? Listen.
About a third of all of the spending that's done in Medicare, Medicaid, I would imagine a lot of it's in the private sector as well, doesn't go to really good health care, goes to other things. And the real nub of this is, how do we wring that waste out, that fraud, abuse, duplication, without interfering with the good care that we want every person on Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance to get? The average citizen knows this happens. How many times when you look at your medical bill, you've undergone a minor procedure, and you see Dr. Smith, $4,000, and you sort of vaguely remember he just waved and poked his head in the door? If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And when I hear my friend Dave Camp say, you cannot cut money out of Medicare, well, we don't want to cut the good stuff that you point out, or add the prevention. But if we're going to, if what Senator Coburn says, that 1/3 of Medicare doesn't go to patient care, you can't just get up there and say, we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. And I think that's where we can find common ground on some of the things you've mentioned, some of the things that are in our bill. And I hope at least in this area we can move forward that way, because frankly, the Republican Party has always stood for getting rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse in the system. In '97, it was the centerpiece of your program. And all of a sudden this year we're hearing, don't do any of that. That's something that I think we can come together on. I thank you.
Wow. Will the real Chuck Schumer please stand up? Please stand up. I mean, and look at this. Look at this. Did y'all see Obama's face? Did y'all see? Look at Obama right there.
Republican Party has always stood.
Look at Obama right there. You see Obama's face? He's sitting there looking like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he's saying this. You know, because actually Obama, he was running on it too, cutting the waste and fraud. And that's the only reason why I think Chuck Schumer was saying anything about it. That's the only reason why he was saying something about it. I mean, look at his face. All right, the phone line is open, everybody. It's Friday. You know, I don't open up the phone line all the time, so this is your time to give me a call, 319-527-3453. And we have a call, Shannon?
Yep, we have Ann from California.
Hello, Ann. Thank you so much for the call.
Hi, Will. I'm calling from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. How are you doing?
Wow,
Hi,
from
Shannon.
Canada.
Hey, I had you down as Callie. I don't know why. Let me fix that.
Oh,
well, thank you so much.
You know what, Will? I have been following you since you had Terrence Williams, since you interviewed him. What a delight.
Oh, is this the Ann? Is your last name start with an R?
It does.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
you're awesome.
You are so awesome. Yes.
I wish, I really wish I could do more. I really do.
Well, we appreciate you.
Well, let me ask you this, Ann. You're in Canada, so would you like to become like the 51st state of the United States of America?
No.
What is your thoughts about that? I know. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I don't think that people will go for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, my friends, well, they're not happy with Trump right now anyway because of the tariffs. They just don't understand. But no, I don't think it's going to happen. No,
I don't think it's going to happen either, to be honest with you. I think President Trump just does that to kind of trigger them. I think he does it to trigger liberals, right? I think that's the whole point. Get liberals, give them something to talk about and trigger them.
Yeah, well, possibly. I don't know. But before I forget, I am also an escapee from California.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right. So what made you go to Canada from California?
I married a Canadian.
Well, that'll do it.
That would do it.
That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So I meant to ask you, too, some time ago I sent you a tie. Did you get that?
The tie, Will?
Yes, I did get that. I surely did.
Send a thank you. I thought we sent a thank you, but maybe we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that.
Go ahead.
That white hat also came from me. I think you got that mixed up with someone else. I sent you that white hat too.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm glad you're clearing that up.
Where's the white hat?
Yeah,
it's right there.
That's up there.
But you know, I do appreciate what you're doing. I follow you religiously and support you as much as I can.
Well, let me ask you this. Does your husband support, I mean, does he like that you like Trump since he's a Canadian?
No.
Okay.
he is not a Trump fan. No, we don't talk about it. We don't discuss it at all.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you don't do that because we don't want any friction.
No, it could get ugly. So, no, we don't. But I am in full support of Trump. I think he's brilliant. And I think he knows what he's doing. My stocks have taken a huge dump, but I think he knows what he's doing, and I think it's going to come back.
I do too. I mean, the stocks have been taking a hit for a while, though, to be honest. I mean, under Biden, they started taking a real hit. You know, under Trump, they were doing really good. So, but Trump has to make some hard decisions, and there's going to be a little bit of uncomfortableness to get us back on track, but it's going to get us back on track better than we were before, I believe.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, yeah. But, you know, I'd like to sit down with you two for a couple of hours and just discuss things. I wish I could. It would be so good.
You know what? I would love to take a trip to Canada one day. I really would.
Okay. My door is open.
I just can't talk to her husband.
And I would like to meet your husband too. I mean, right? I mean, you love him regardless.
We don't want to be the unwelcome
I mean, you
guest.
do love him regardless. So I would like to meet him as well. You know, maybe we would have a good conversation.
Sure.
I think.
I think we would. He would be civil.
No,
amen to that.
You know me.
Can't ask for more than that.
You've been watching me for a long time, so you know I like talking to people that have different point of views.
It was nice, yeah.
So I'm a nice guy.
Right.
You know, I'm a nice
guy.
Well, if we come up that way, Ann, we're gonna definitely reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You betcha. My door is open, and my dogs don't bite. And yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Well, thank you so much for the call.
God bless, Ann.
God
Thank
bless.
you so much.
All right, thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye now.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, we got some more callers. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I got the Rumble chat. I can put the Rumble chat up on the screen, and I have the Pilled chat up on the screen. And I love it that I can add people's comments when they're on Facebook right there in the middle. People do it. I can't, like right here, I'm going to put another one up here if we can, because I think it's pretty awesome that I can do this.
It's pretty awesome. Well, while you're playing, Will, let's go to a phone call. The first phone call, the last four numbers are 1284. You're on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Carla from Illinois.
Carla, thank you so much for the call.
Oh yeah, I've been watching you. I watched between you and Benny Johnson. I go back and forth.
Oh, well, nice. Nice.
I listen to all you guys. And I was wanting to say something. Last night I was watching that Abby Phillip on CNN.
I'm sorry.
I go back and forth on CNN and all that. Well, yeah, I only watch it because she does have a couple of good Republicans on there, like
Scott Jennings. Yep.
Yes,
Jennings is like the main one. You know what I would like to see for them to remove Abby from the main host and put Scott Jennings there.
Yeah,
I think they would get more views by doing that.
I think they would. I just watched it because I like keeping up with both sides. Now I know what they're saying.
Good for you.
And it's just funny because they had this guy on there last night talking about how tariffs are going to bring up Tim Tam cookies or candies and imported Italian wine, and they're talking about it's going to be hurting the middle class and the lower class. I don't drink any of that crap.
And we have a ton of winemakers here in the United States. You got California, Texas has a ton of winemakers. I mean, we have wine here. We don't need
Well, that's
their
what
wine.
I'm saying is I don't understand how they say that it's going to affect the middle class. We can't afford that. That's only going to affect the elites anyway.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
the only ones that eat $300 bottles of wine. I mean, I sure in hell can't go out and buy, you know, a $300 bottle of wine and sit at home and drink all day.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm sure in hell
I
not gonna
can't.
go to Australia and get Tim Tam cookies or candies or whatever them things are called.
Yeah, I was just saying I can't even buy a $20 bottle of wine.
And you know what, Carla? You know, tagging on what you just said. When we send our wine over to these countries, you know, they tax it to where the price of it goes up. So why don't we do the same thing to them? If it's going to discourage people from buying our wine, then let's discourage people from buying their wine and buying our wine here. I mean, that's what they do.
Why don't they raise up the price on the ice cream that Nancy Pelosi buys?
Well,
I mean, doesn't she buy like $15 ice cream?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, her whole freezer was stocked full of ice cream. She said she paid $15 a piece for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, who in hell can afford to pay $15 for a quart of ice cream?
I know, that's wild. I mean, that ice cream might have hallucinogenic attributes to it. If it's that, if it's that much.
I think they're throwing a fit is because these tariffs are going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt the middle class or lower class because we don't buy that stuff.
Right.
You know, so I mean, complaining and moaning and groaning ain't going to help you. And to me, it's like they're all complaining that the prices are going up, and it's like, well, you know what? You got to give the man some time. You can't expect him to do it in a day.
I think Trump's going to fix it. I really do. He's been so smart, you know, so many things that they've said he, you know, been on the other side of the coin with him. He's been the one that's been right. So I full-heartedly believe that this is the right thing.
But he's got it done. He said what he was going to do, and I appreciate it. I'm glad he's getting these people out of the country.
Yeah,
I mean, that was more important to me than the price of eggs.
You know what, and you know what? Another thing is that to go back to the tariffs, President Trump is telling these countries that you're going to have to be fair to America. You're going to have to do you're going to have to do right by America. And what I don't understand, and it just kind of like completely just blows my mind, is that all of these people on the left saying, and you even have some in the uniparty on the right, right? Because it's the uniparty. You even have some on the right saying that this is going to destroy the American economy and it's not going to help out farmers in the United States of America. Democrats, they didn't even care about farms when Joe Biden was in office. The way they were destroying farms all across the country. Now, all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that they're looking out for the farms in America.
Car manufacturing,
I mean,
too.
come on.
Right.
Car manufacturing, too. How many plants have closed?
Yes. Same thing, car manufacturers.
The past 3 years, I've grown a garden. I buy my eggs locally. I don't go to the store and buy them. I buy them from my neighbor about a couple miles up the road. I get them for $3 a dozen. You get fresh farm eggs for $3 a dozen. That's cheaper than any grocery store. Are you still there?
Yes, listening.
Okay. Well, anyway, I started canning my own food. So I've started canning meats and vegetables. And I just started doing that because of the pandemic. I thought, you know what? If we're going to have a breakdown in the economy, I'm growing my own food.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the best thing. If anybody lives in the country, I live in the country, and my garden's tripled in 3 years.
Wow, nice.
This year, it's going to be 10 times bigger than it was last year.
You know, I don't have a big yard, but I have Shannon and I, outside of our studio, we have some small plants, you know, trying to grow some things. Just small things like blackberries, blueberries.
Oh my goodness.
Some strawberries, of course. I have habaneros and some serranos because I love habaneros and serranos.
Yeah, but they burn up if you're not careful.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, corn, green beans, tomatoes. I try to grow it all. This year it's getting bigger. I'm going all out. I grew my own lettuce last year. It was delicious.
Good for you, because you have that crazy governor over there. You got J.B. Pritzker.
Oh yeah,
he's a prick.
If if I can say it, he's a big douchebag.
He is.
Man.
He is.
That's all he is. He's a windbag. He's full of crap, and there's no reason why he should be our governor. The only reason he is because we can't get Chicago people to realize that the Democrats put him there.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I mean, same thing happened in California. It's like they get a hold, and it's like they brainwash these people into keep voting for them. It's the strangest thing.
And promises, and they don't keep their promises. Democrats do not keep a promise.
Well, we'll see if it changes.
Yeah, they don't keep their promises. Most definitely. Most
I
definitely.
mean, Joe Biden come in saying he was going to be the uniter.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't do no uniting. He divided us even more than what we were.
Yes. So did Obama. So
yeah, and I like the fact that I have a problem with no one until you have a problem with me. So I'm that way. And I'm pretty flat out and blunt with people. So they don't like it when I'm blunt.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. You need to be blunt. I mean, we don't need to be timid. We need to be blunt.
But I'm nice to everybody, and I'm polite with anybody I see. And if you start something with me, then we have a problem, and then I'll go off.
Yep.
And that's not pretty.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
Well, hey.
Little, but dynamite comes in small packages.
I like it. I like it.
I'm just one of these ones. I'm a Trumper all the way. If he could run a third term, I'll vote for him a third term. You
know what? I like the idea, to be honest with you. I mean, I think after this 4 years, Trump is going to be done. And again, I think President Trump is, he's floating it out there just to get them all worked up. But I think after these 4 years, he's going to be done. He's going to be like, okay, I've done all I could do.
I'd like Vance to run. I think he'd do good.
I think he's going to run, and I think he would be good. So, well, hey, Carla, thank you so much for the call.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it. Thank you for answering the call.
Yes, absolutely. God bless.
You're doing good work. You're doing good work and putting the word out there, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend.
Carla.
You too. You guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we got another one.
Yep. Caller, the last four numbers are 40493. You're on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Tanya from Ohio.
You say Tiny? Tanya.
Tanya.
Yes. Thank you so much for the call. What you think?
Yes. I sit there. I am totally with you guys. I have been pro-Trump since he came down that escalator. Actually, I would tell people all the time, I remember him having an interview. I just cannot remember who he had the interview with. And they asked him in the interview, would you ever think of running for president? And I remember saying I'd vote for him because he'd win. Like, Oprah. I knew it in my heart from back then. Like, he was smart. Even though he was a Democrat back then, he still was smarter than most people.
Yes. He was a Democrat back then. And you're talking about when he was on with Oprah Winfrey, and she was asking him, sound like you're going to run for president. And you know what? At the time, he was like, nope, I don't want to do it. It's just not something that I want to do. But he says I would not ever rule it out 100%. But he says that's not something I want to do. And you know what? That makes him perfect for the job because he didn't want to do it. That makes him perfect for the job.
But also, I think it gives him a chance to be an inspiration because there's parents and there's people out there that are tired of what's going on in our government or tired of what's going on in their cities. I'm looking into possibly running for my daughter's school board to hopefully effectively make change for my children. Because in my daughter's school, they're charging our seniors $20 to walk across the stage to receive their diplomas.
Are you kidding
me?
No, I'm not kidding. In Reynoldsburg City Schools in Ohio, they are charging their seniors $60 this year. Last year it was $50. And if they can't pay, they don't get the honor of walking across that stage with their classmates.
Oh my goodness.
What are they doing with all the
13 years of work down the drain.
Oh my goodness.
For those children.
God bless. You know what? You should run. You should run.
And then they told me when I tried to investigate it that they weren't aware of any kids that didn't get the honor. And I said, that's pretty hard when I know.
You cut out the last part.
I said, sorry. I said, it's pretty hard that they didn't understand, or the school said they weren't aware of any students that didn't get the honor. And I said, that's pretty hard when the parents are aware that there are students who didn't get the honor.
Why would you charge them anyways? Listen, that is an honor earned, not an honor you pay for.
Oh yeah. It is honor that you earn for 13 years of hard work. I know each one of those school board members and each one of those teachers and any school never had to pay to go walk across the stage. That's part of one of my platforms I'm going to run on, because this is ridiculous that these are some of the things in Democrat cities that they are doing to some of our kids, let alone what the multitude of things that they're doing on top of the people in their city.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it sounds like where'd the money go? I want to know where the money go. I mean, did it go to some kind of program that doesn't actually contribute to the kids, basic learning skills? This is absurd. You know what? I'm so glad my children are not in school anymore. I'm so glad. We saw a decline when my kids were in school. I was always involved in the schools. Everybody knew who I was. Everybody knew my name. If I saw something, I would say something. And I think now looking back, I would be the mom that would run. I didn't then, but I didn't know how bad it was going to get. Right?
Oh, I didn't. If you asked me back when I was in school, this was the direction our country was going, I would have laughed in your face.
Right.
I mean, being a teenager in the 90s, I tell people I'm the minority at work, and I love it because I work with predominantly African Muslims, Black women and men. And I love the fact that I'm the minority because they will talk to me like we're all friends. We've been friends for years. And I told them all the time, this is America.
Yep.
This is America. I know that we don't care about skin color. We care about each other. And I tell them all the time, being a teenager in the 90s, we started with the Rodney King beating, which was absolutely atrocious. And by the time, the closest we had ever come as a society to ever eradicating racism, and this is the closest, I tell them all the time, it wasn't gone, but the closest we got was by the end of the 90s, because we lived our lives of you do you, let us do us, and we lived peacefully to an extent. I said, but then politics turned it around to go, wait, we can use this and turn them against each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in the late 80s. I graduated in 1990, and I lived in California. I had all kinds of different friends. I mean, we were very, nobody talked about, oh, they're Black or they're this or they're that. We didn't do that. Everybody was just friends. We had a sense of community. We loved, there was cliques, but it wasn't based on color, right? Or race or anything like that. And I'm so discouraged that it's become that these days. They renewed the division in America because it wasn't there for a long time.
No, it wasn't. And I said, I would love to take my kids back into the 90s just to see, because there were some times where we had to deal with these issues. But it was one of those things that we worked hard as a community to work past it.
Yeah. You know what?
And we wouldn't let it stand.
Yeah. You know what? I remember back in the 90s that I had friends of all walks of life because my father was in the military, and it didn't matter what background you came from. We were just all friends and we all stuck together. And today they wanted it's like a great division, right? They're trying to divide us as much as possible. For them, I guess they believe it's divide and conquer, because all this hatred that we see, all this division, it has been created by the left. 100% created by the left. And what's really interesting about all of it is that the left will say it's the Republicans, the MAGA Republicans. They're the ones doing everything that the left has been doing. And people absorb it and they just believe it. I'm like, oh my goodness, Republicans, because they got fascists, all these stuff. And then they push it down the throats of our children, trying to get children to believe that. You know what? I grew up. Now, I would have to say this. When I was growing up, my parents, they were telling me that the Republicans, because they were told the same thing, Republicans were for rich old white men. And then I got older and I started reading and I started doing research, and come to find out, That was a lie by the Democrats so they can control black people. And it's still happening today. In the same Democrat Party, they're trying to indoctrinate kids to hate what a woman is, to hate and force little girls to lose scholarships because they won't even compete against another male. The latest one where this female was getting ready to do the fencing. And she's like, I don't want to fence against you because you're a male. And then they gave her a black card, which is supposed to be like the worst thing you could ever receive. And she welcomed that black card. It's completely disgusting that our society is going down this path. And of course, the left sees something wrong with us if we deal in reality.
But the thing is the Democrats spew hate. And now we're seeing, it's like they're giving approval to hating each other, right? And then you have people like that young man that was just killed at a track meet. These high school students, one stabs the other because one said, don't get underneath our tent.
Yeah, you're in the wrong one. You're in the wrong place.
They've given approval to division and hate and attacking each other. And we have to stop this. And I think, Tanya, now would be a good time for you because, you know, you have Trump wanting to change and put schools back to the states and get rid of DEI and all of that. And I think it'd be a great time to help get in there and facilitate it and get schools back on track. That's my opinion anyways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know because I live on the outskirts of a large city. I even called them out on this. We are a low income school district. Not all of these kids can afford $60 to that honor, let alone what they're doing to them in the schools. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I had to teach my daughter, and I don't have any qualms against anybody, how they want to live. It's their life. But my daughter came home one day saying, I'm non-binary. And I looked at her and I said, no, you're not. Because you're my scientific kid. You know that is not possible for a human to be non-binary. And I know I'm going to get hate for that, but it's true. Scientifically, I told her, when they dig you up 100 years from now, those bones will ever say female because of your DNA.
I have to say, I'd probably pull my kid out of school right there.
Right?
I probably would.
Like, because I told her, it's like your kids are being influenced. I remember the jocks, the cheerleaders, all these different fads, but talking to some of the other parents, and it is, what kind of LGBTQ spectrum are you on? That's your popularity group now. And it's scary.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's just they're intensifying it, and they're just making it grow even more with this insanity.
Yeah.
You know, I went out to the Tesla thing, and there's this guy there, and they were getting mad at me because I was calling him. And I'm like, why do I have to play? You know, that's the thing with all of this. I've always been clear about this. If people want to live a certain way, you want to do a certain thing, by all means, you have the freedom to do it. Why am I going to take your freedom away? That doesn't even sound right? I'm going to try to take your freedom away. But why are they trying to take our freedom away from dealing in reality? I want to live in reality. So then they get upset with me and said that I was being hateful because I don't want to live in their fantasy land. It's really bizarre. And things are going to get worse because I truly believe, Tanya, that we're living in the last days. And this great deception that the Bible is telling us, we're seeing it firsthand. And a lot of people don't want to even look at it like that because a lot of people don't want to think that we're possibly in the last days. And of course, I'm not talking about a day or the hour. I always have to make sure I put that out there because a lot of people go, Will Johnson, no one knows the day or the hour. I've never said anything about the day or the hour, but we will see signs. And I truly believe that we're seeing the signs. So, but
I have to agree. We are not. I personally believe, I've read the Bible, was raised Catholic, and I don't believe we're in the last days, as in it's going to end the world. Like, I don't believe in that, but I believe we are in the end of days that's going to hopefully bring us all back to God. That it will bring us to a more religious, a more spiritual, a more friendly, a more heaven on earth. I really believe that, and I hope for that.
That would happen when Christ. Yeah, that would happen when Christ returned. And you know what? When I talk about the last days, I'm talking about that because there's so many prophecies that have been fulfilled. So many things that we're seeing that's happening right now. Because the stuff that we're seeing happening is not actually good. I mean, it's not good, but they're pushing it as if it is good. And especially because Israel has these red heifers that they haven't had in 2,000 years. And the Bible tells us, and the Bible's clear, that they would do the sacrifices of these red heifers in the last days. They haven't had them in over 2,000 years. And now they have them. They have more than one. So it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time to see what's happening. And we see with them trying to fight for this new world order and what they call the liberal world order. I mean, things are unfolding right now, biblically, from the Bible. Real time.
I believe it too, because I believe that we have to fight and teach our young ones that, you know, I've always was raised to believe in how you want to believe, as long as your true heart goes back to God and live your life as God would want you to live.
Yes, absolutely.
And these people are living godless lives.
Yes. Well, Tanya, you know
it's
what?
Demonic, and it's scary.
It really is. You know what, Tanya? We need people like you to be courageous and to stand up and join the school board meetings. A lot of people don't think that's really a high position, but it's an extremely high position because it's dealing directly with our children. So by all means, I wish you the best of luck. Prayers to you and your family. And I hope that you get there, because we need people there that has common sense.
Thank you. And prayers to everyone that's listening, and prayers to you and your I'm sorry, I don't know the name of your co-host. Shannon. Prayers to you and both of your families.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless, Tanya.
God bless. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
God bless you.
Okay, the phone line is open, everyone. The lines are open again, 319-527-3453. And while you're deciding to give me a call, let me share another one with you that we have with Chuck Schumer. Of course, Chuck Schumer being who he is.
Yeah, and I just want to say this was in 1996. They were trying to pass a Social Security bill that makes illegals not able to get Social Security. That's what this video is about.
Yep. Here, check it out.
I thank the gentleman, salute him for his work on this, rise in support of the amendment. First of all, Social Security card is used from one end of America to the other as an identification card right now. Who are we kidding? If you want to pass a law and says it shouldn't be, I would ask the chairman and the distinguished minority member of the Social Security committee to pass that law, but let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a Social Security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a Social Security card. This is an anti-fraud amendment. Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is, when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing. Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, etc. I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Wow. Is that John Brennan? No, what was his name? What was his name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Maybe someone watching can remember who that was. But that was Chuck Schumer way, way back. It's not that way back, actually. With a real Chuck Schumer, please stand up. And they're talking about Social Security. I mean, he's talking about fraud. I mean, what happened to that? And again, the reason why the Democrats are pushing for people not in this country, not American citizens, to have Social Security cards so they can have an easier pathway to set them up to do whatever it is, like voting. And then I remember they were saying that Tucker Carlson was racist because Tucker Carlson brought up the replacement theory. And to my understanding, Tucker Carlson didn't even make it up. Tucker Carlson wasn't the one that made that up. He was just talking about what they were doing and what they wanted to do. And because he brought light to it, they were saying that he was racist. But, that's what they always do when they don't have anything to say. That's what they always do. Well, let me talk about this too, because the tariffs that President Trump is doing, he's basically, and it's we want these countries to be fair. Why are they not fair? And I'm sitting there looking at this information about the tariffs, and think about this, everyone. See if this is something that came across your mind too. See, President Trump is telling all of these nations that's been taking advantage of us that you're no longer going to take advantage of us. You're going to pay the same thing. It's going to be fair, free and fair trade. Well, the Democrats don't want it to be fair for us. They want the other countries to continue to take advantage of us. And as I mentioned earlier, the farms in this country, the Democrats, now I've never seen it firsthand, but there's been like reports out there where they were talking and saying that the Biden administration was telling a lot of these farmers to destroy some of the crops and stuff like that. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen the videos, but every time the video was surface and go out there, they would automatically go out there and say, it's not true, it's not true. And these were videos of people actually on farms saying what the government was wanting them to do. Now, all of a sudden, these same Democrats that did not care about the farms throughout the entire country, now all of a sudden they're acting like they're concerned about them. And as with Shannon, what she just said, even same thing with the auto workers. Look at what happened to Detroit. Detroit used to be, to my understanding, the capital basically of the world of the auto industry. And they destroyed it. The Democrats, they destroyed it. And President Trump doing the tariffs, all that's going to do is end up helping America. It's going to end up helping the United States of America. It's going to help the workers, because if all of this auto industry comes back to America, who benefits from it? Look, if the auto industry, these companies start building manufacturers and start firing up the machines here in the United States of America, don't they have to have people to operate them? Not everything is controlled by AI. Let me play this, and then we're going to go back to the phone lines.
What I would say is this, Liz. It's already had positive effects before they even went into effect. Stellantis announced they were going to move a new truck, an EV pickup truck, into the idled Belvidere, Illinois plant. So Hyundai, I believe it was, announced a multi-billion-dollar investment in one of the southern states to build a new plant to build their cars and trucks, or cars and vehicles down there. So before he even put these into effect, his tariffs were having a positive impact on the American economy and on creating American jobs. Secondly, I just want to note that nobody was crying these crocodile tears when they were closing the Mound Road engine plant that Chrysler had in Macomb County, or the Romeo engine plant in Romeo, Michigan, in Macomb County. But all of a sudden, now that we're trying to bring these products back, these components and these vehicles back to the United States, all of a sudden, all the so-called experts are saying it's going to plunge us into recession and be terrible for the economy. Yeah. So thank God. If they're crying, I think we're doing something right.
If they're crying, I think we are doing something right. I say that all the time. My producer, she got that video, and she go, well, you got to listen to this. He's saying the same thing you've been saying. And the reason why, and what made me think about that, is with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, the FBI, all of the left, they were kicking and screaming and crying about what Elon Musk was doing by finding the waste and fraud, the same waste and fraud that they were willing to get rid of years and years ago, but now they want to keep it there. They were all kicking and screaming, complaining about Elon Musk, to the point to where they're even asking people to go out and be violent at Tesla dealerships, key Teslas, protests at Tesla dealerships. They're angry because Elon Musk was doing the right thing. And see, you notice they weren't so much angry with Kash Patel or with Pam Bondi. They're not so much angry with them, because they're not constantly talking about, oh my goodness, she did this and she did that. I don't hear anything from the left when it comes to Pam Bondi, which gives me the idea that Pam Bondi's not doing what she should be doing. Now, of course, she came out again and said that they arrested another MS-13 member, and they'll complain about that a little bit when they get deported, because, the Democrats want these hardcore criminals here. They want him here. Okay, we got a phone call still?
Yep, we have Eric from Wisconsin.
Hey, hello, Eric. Thank you so much for the call.
Hi, Will and Shannon. Good to talk to you.
Hello.
Same here.
For a while.
Thank you.
So appreciate you as always. Yeah, I guess my main comment, just to add to the show today, is like those videos that you showed, those vintage videos of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer.
Yes.
I wish that those could go viral in the liberal media somehow, so that all these liberals can see what their own leaders used to say.
Yeah.
And, some of it actually makes sense, common sense. Who
Yep.
likes to use the term common sense a lot? Our
Trump.
great president, Donald J. Trump.
Yep, 100%.
And some of these things are just common sense. So why they've turned around so much, and their constituency, half the country practically, is unbelievable. And I just wish that they could see this, so that they're reminded, it's in their face, and possibly make them think about things. And
that would be nice. That would actually be nice if they could see it. But I think the main problem here is that the left, they will never play those clips again. They were never allowed to go see the light of day on MSDNC or CNN, because then once the people that watches that crap on their networks, they would say, but they were saying that then, why aren't they saying that now?
And what's even more maddening is some of these videos are 30 years ago.
Yes.
Why hasn't it been fixed? In fact, it's even been perpetuated and gotten worse. And now they've taken advantage of how fraud and stuff can happen in our government. For instance, Social Security being given to immigrants. It flourished under Joe Biden, under the Democrat watch. The one thing that they complained about 3 years ago, they actually utilized to bring in a voter base for themselves. It's absolutely disgusting. And they're such hypocrites.
Yep.
I wish, like you said, Eric, that people could see this.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole Doge operation, for example, it's just common sense. Fraud, waste, and abuse has been talked about for decades, but yet no one has ever done anything. It's just ignored. And we heard, way back, 70s and 80s, that, our taxpayer dollars are paying for this study in this foreign country, whatever, the crazy things. And we've known about it, but nobody has ever done anything. And finally, we get one man as a leader that actually is doing something about it. And with the help of a guy that's got the talent to do it, Elon Musk. And they're just going crazy. But yet those same people, if you had just a reasonable civil conversation with them, they'd say, yeah, by all means, why are our tax dollars paying for this? No, let's stop it. But yet they're out protesting. And now here in Wisconsin, we've got a liberal radical court justice.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be in, so.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead. No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if I could, sorry to do this over the air, but you're not getting a delay in getting mail, are you?
Say it again.
I sent you a card and a check in it, and that has not cleared my bank yet. It's been over 3 weeks, I think.
Actually, we just went to the mailbox yesterday.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's away from us, so we don't always go. But you know what? Thank you for your support. We were actually gonna bring it up the envelopes and say thank you, but we have you on the phone, and so thank you so much for your support. We
Yes,
really
absolutely.
do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I just was hoping it didn't get,
We appreciated your words too. I mean, it means so much.
Okay, so you actually got the card already. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I read it to Will.
Yeah, we just got it.
Yeah, we just got it.
Just
yeah.
got it.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
you know what?
good,
Thank you
good.
so much. And you know what? And you called me. Wow. You know what?
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Well,
the blessing.
like I think I wrote in the card, Will, there's a lot of, conservative commentators out there, but I'm not sure how to express this, but like the logic that you use and the way you respond and comment on and ask questions, it closely aligns with my thought processes also. So naturally, I like that.
Yeah, I read that. You said that it pretty much is the way you think or feel when you talk about politics. So yeah, and you know what? I think that's what a lot of people like about Will is he aligns with. That's why he picked up the selfie stick so long ago, because he didn't hear people saying the things that he was thinking and feeling.
And you know what, Eric, you and I and millions of other Americans, we just deal in common sense. You know,
Right.
I mean, and that's what it really comes down to. We just deal in common sense, and that's all that we want. You know, so I greatly appreciate you. You are a blessing.
Okay, you too. God bless you both.
Thanks,
Thank
Eric.
you.
I'm doing it.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks.
you.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Have a blessed weekend. Okay, so we are right at the end. Wow, thank you so much. Hey, let me remind everyone, if you could, go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, and support me, right? Support me. And you can see, if you go to uniteamericafirst.com, you can see right there all the shows that I do Monday through Friday. You know, this is the first show that I do throughout the day. And I'm thinking about maybe doing one later in the evening just to see. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know, but I already got a lot that I do throughout the day, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, my producer, she has articles that we put on the website. But if you want to help me out, really sign up for that free newsletter. Sign up for the free newsletter. You go to my website, sign up for the free newsletter. And let me remind everyone, I never spam you, right? Because I've actually asked people to sign up for the free newsletter. And people would send me messages saying, Will, I signed up for the newsletter and I haven't received an email from you.
Maybe we should spam them.
I don't want to spam people because when you get a whole bunch of email from, the same person over and over and over, you're like, okay, I don't look at it.
Especially
so when I
get more
send
than
out
one a
an
day.
email, it's like, this is something that I think that you might want to look at.
Absolutely.
So sign up for the free newsletter. I would greatly appreciate it. We have over 6,000 people now signed up for the free newsletter. So it's growing. So thank you so much. If you've already signed up for the free newsletter, thank you so much. And you know what? Probably over the weekend, I'll send one out. I'll send one out just saying thank you for the support. And thank you so much for being there and signing up for the free newsletter. And if you go to uniteamericafirst.com/donate, which you can see the button up there as well, you can see you can support me monthly. And if you just want to bless me one time, the digital way, right below that, you have the different options. If we can scroll down on there a little bit for me, if you would, please. Maybe just a little bit. There we go. Right there. All the normal ones that everyone are used to. And just like Sir Eric, he was talking about, there's my physical address. If you want to mail me something, I would greatly appreciate it as well. uniteamericafirst.com/donate. All right. So I plan on still, even though, and just yesterday, people blessed me by helping me get a new MAGA phone. But for everyone, just to let you know, it might rain here, but I'm still go to the Tesla event that they're having this weekend. There's a Tesla protest that they're doing.
If
and
they have it. I don't know if they're going to have it.
I don't know. They may shut it down because it's raining.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's like
Yes,
80%
chance, 85% chance rain. So
we'll see.
Hopefully the sky will just clear up just long enough.
Just for you?
Yeah, just for me. That has happened before. God is real, everybody. God is amazing God. He is amazing God. So, yep. And also, really quick before we get out, if you go to MyPillow right now, mypillow.com/Will, you put, mypillow.com/Will. Mike Lindell has some amazing deals are going on right now because they're still attacking him. They're still trying to prevent him from being an American business. So you go to mypillow.com, use promo code Will to get the best deal. And you see, go back. Oh, you can't make it go back, can you? So you see how the thing is flipping up there? He had one that says mega. I want to see, it says, mega sale. They need to change that to spring MAGA sale. Because, I mean, come on, why not? Because liberals, they don't like Mike Lindell because he loves America and he supports President Trump. So I think it would be safe for him to go ahead and say spring MAGA sale. Spring MAGA sale. What do y'all think? But nonetheless, if you want the best deal at mypillow.com, use promo code Will. All right, everybody, that is it for me. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe out there. See you on Monday.